All right, former Nigerian President General Yakubu Gowon, retired, has called for a speedy solution of the ongoing crisis in ECOWAS. General Gowon made this known after a brief meeting with President Bola Tinubu, saying he had come to discuss with the president plans to resolve the ongoing impasse, which has seen Niger, Chad, and Burkina Faso exit the regional community. This was occasioned by sanctions from the bloc after military takeovers in the three West African states. Now to discuss this, I'm joined by foreign policy expert Bolu Michael B. Hello, Bolu. Thank you so much for joining me on the news.
Yeah, good day.
All right, so what does the absence of the three Sahel nations mean for the African continent, especially in terms of security and economic growth?
Well, it's a huge setback, because the agenda of the African Union is to integrate the African continent as much as possible. And there are already existing, regional blocks within the continent. However, seeing that there's another bloc being formed known as the AES is a huge setback in terms of security, because now it's going to be difficult for intelligence sharing, for instance, and then there's a possibility of easy spillover of countries of conflicts from these countries to other neighboring countries. Economically, definitely stifles trade because they're not in good terms with their neighboring countries and or other countries within the region. It might be difficult for trade to take place, and that affects the citizens as well.
So, Bolu, all three countries are under leadership of the military who ousted, that's the heads who actually ousted democratically elected heads of state. What message does lifting the sanctions send to other African states?
Well, there are two sides to the coin. It depends on which perspective one wants to choose, because if seeing that they've been lifting the sanction might actually promote dialogue between ECOWAS and these three countries, and another thing is on the flip side might actually embolden other countries to want to have stage coups, and the consequence of the ECOWAS not taking proactive action and being punitive at first instance is that countries that have issues with the region, with the regional bloc, may use the threat of leaving the bloc as a tool in negotiation instead of employing, just plain diplomacy and having negotiations and conversations. So there are two sides of the coin, and it depends on which perspective one wants to choose.
All right, Bolu, now these three Sahel countries have actually said that they feel threatened by the ECOWAS bloc. Now, I want you to tell me if you feel this is actually factual. In essence, what I'm trying to say is it true that the bloc actually folds its hands when mismanagement and poor leadership go on in such states, but goes active when there is a coup?
The thing is that, well, if one listens to the leaders of this AES states, they have legitimate reasons to have that fear or to have that feeling of being threatened, because they want their military government to stay on, and ECOWAS wants something else. So they definitely would feel threatened because they have a regional body that does not want them to exist. However, ECOWAS can also argue that it's not all about installing the democracy in the sub-region, in the region. It's also about peacekeeping, and they can cite example of missions and activities, missions that ECOWAS has done successfully in terms of economy, free movement of persons. They can argue it's not only about just democracy. So again, there are two sides to it, and both the ECOWAS and the AES, they will have legitimate reasons to back their points in a way.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Bolu, for joining me on the news and also for your time.
My pleasure. Thank you.